let us understand the example program for each storage class, starting from auto. Problem statement: to understand the usage of automatic variable. So the keyword associated with the automatic is auto. I'm writing hash include stdio.h int main. So let me first initialize the different variables. Char ch int a float b. Now let me print the default values associated with these three identifiers. The first one is ch. For character, %c. For integer it is %d. For float it is %f. Now let us see the default values which are printed for ch, a and b. First let us see what are all the default values they are printed. Now let us execute this and check what are all the default values which are stored for this identifiers. So for ch it will be null. The character is null. Followed by next one is 0, 0, and for float it is also 0. First one is for character, it is null. So whenever we are going to use the default values of automatic variable will be null, 0 and 0. If you are specifying auto, no matter they are again same, because by default every identifier is automatic. You are getting the same result. The first one is null, and the second one is 0, and the third one is 0. So these are the default values of automatic variable. So any value whatever you are trying to change, it will also reflect according to the program requirement. By default every variable is automatic. Now let us take one more small example within it. If I am writing a value as 10 and I am trying to print the value of a equal to 10, let me just print only a value. I'll try to modify the value of a to 20, and then I'll try to print the value of a. So if you watch the output closely, the value of a, here I'm just printing the value of a 10, and I'm trying to change this value to 20 and I'm printing it again. Now the value of a will be 20. So it depends upon the requirement and the flow of the execution, how the values you can modify and store. So this is how the working of automatic variable will be done. And if I am using any scope, let us take, I am trying to create a scope of a variable. Imagine I am trying to create one more scope of a variable, like I'll be taking a equal to 50, a equal to 50. Printf, within this scope I am printing the value of A, and let us see what would be the value of A within this scope. And I'll try to print the value of A outside of this scope. This is outside of scope. A equal to percentile D. This is A. This is inside the block or scope. Now let us see the difference. So whenever a variable is being initialized with auto, now you can see here A value is 50, which has been modified from A value equal to 20, and outside of the scope the value is again, we are trying to extract the value of A, we are getting the same value, which means the storage class automatic scope will be local. Local means within the function. Lifetime will be within function. Now here the function is main. So within this function the scope will exist. Okay. This is how the automatic storage class functions. This is an example of auto storage class. By default, every identifier, whatever we are initializing with a data type, by default it is an automatic variable, or by default it is an auto. So here, as part of this particular automatic storage class, the storage place is CPU memory, and the initial or default value will be the garbage value. Scope of this particular automatic variable will be local to the block. Local to the block is within this open and curly brace, we call it as local to the block. The lifetime is within the function only. So whatever the value of this given automatic variable will be there, so that scope will be within the function only. The existence of that particular value will be within the function itself. So in order to make you understand, so I am using functions concept over here. So don't get confused. So why am I using void increment over here? This is just function declaration, and this is function call, and this is the function definition. So this everything in detail still we are going to see in the functions concept, but for now, in order to make you clear understand of the usage of this automatic variable, so I am using the functions concept over here. Now int main, so within this we are calling increment, so this is called function call. It goes for the function definition and executes these values. Now whenever the function call increment is done, auto int I equal to 0, which means now I value is 0, printf percentile D, I am printing the value of I. The value of I is 0. Next I plus plus. Now I value will become 1. But next time I am calling the increment function, again it will reinitialize the value of I to 0. Again it will print the value of I as 0. So the next output will be 0. Again I plus plus is 1. Next again the third increment, again it will take the I value to 0. Again it prints the I value as 0. Next I value will become 1. Again we are going to call the increment function. So n number of times you call this increment function. With the help of this auto or automatic variable, the value whatever you have initialized, so that will be reinitialized every time you call it, because the scope of this value will be local to this block. Now let me execute this code and show you the value of I. So 4 times the value of I is printed, and it is printed as 0, 0, 0. So this is how the storage class called auto is used.